Alright, so I'm about to unlock instant happiness and a radical improvement in my mood in a way that is extremely healthy. Does not involve consuming any, foreign substance like alcohol or drugs, and which everyone has easy access to, but nobody utilizes. Nobody utilizes, and it's the most powerful thing in the world for just making yourself happy, regardless of the circumstances of your life, and that's gratitude. Well, that's part one of it. The second part is just spend at least a few minutes each day thinking about some of the miraculous things that are out there in the world. You know, research like good news that's going on in the world. Think about the beauty of nature and so on and so forth. But you get the general idea. So I'll begin now, and I encourage you to do the same, just as an experiment. Try, um, if you're not, a loquacious person like myself who loves speaking, then do a gratitude prayer. Or if you're not a religious person, just make a gratitude list. Don't just write what you're grateful for. Write why you're grateful for it, and really think about what it would be like if you didn't have that car you take for granted, or that pet you take for granted, or running water, or the sewage system, or the flowers right outside your door, or the safety of modern civilization, or your children, or your wife, or your husband. All these things that you just take for granted, that if you would just slow down and think about how truly remarkable they are, they would fill your heart up with joy, instant happiness. You don't need to take a shot of liquor or snort, cocaine to instantly become happy. You just have to get in touch with your spiritual side, you know? But people have lost touch with their spiritual side, and as a result, they've turned to the evils of these quick dopamine fixes that satiate you and give you pleasure, but leave you completely empty inside. So, regardless, anyway, I'm gonna start. So, number one thing I'm grateful for today. The number one thing I'm grateful for today. Sorry, I'm extremely tired. Didn't get much sleep last night and had a long day. Um, is my truck. Oh my god. I finally got my truck on the road and I feel absolute freedom. I can apply for any job within a 45-hour long drive from my house, you know, doing something I absolutely love rather than being stuck, you know, taking jobs that are within, a few football fields away from my house, or riding a bike to the other side of the island, you know. It's just so freeing. It's absolutely so freeing. And just, it allows me to take my girlfriend out on dates to the seawall, or to the beach, or to a nature trail, or the bay, or to a look, up to the mountains on a weekend, so that we can just like take in the beauty of nature and just have deep conversations with our friends, and sit around the campfire and just, you know, completely and utterly relax and have amazing conversations, and, you know, talk about, the crazy things we did when we were kids. And I'm just so grateful for my truck, and it's a responsibility, not a right. I got in so many car accidents in the past because I would text and drive, I would drink and drive, and all this stuff. And now I realize that I put other people's lives at risk, and I got super lucky because with all my terrible driving, my negligent driving, I never actually killed someone, which I easily could have. So I would text and drive, drink and drive, everything else. And while I got in accidents, I never killed someone. So I got extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for my new career path. I have to do more reflection about it, and, you know, investigate other avenues towards what I hope to eventually achieve. But right now, I believe that I will apply for a marketing internship, succeed in the marketing field since I've read about 20 or 30 books on the subject when I was younger, when I was a voracious reader, which is something I'm now bringing back now that I've abandoned TV shows and movies. Um, I'm going to, spend 2 or 3 years in the marketing field, and then I'm going to work as a private school teacher because many highly successful private schools don't hire education majors because they lack leadership skills, they lack persuasion skills, they lack communication skills, they lack the fundamental um, attributes necessary to properly communicate, inspire, and lead their students towards a comprehensive understanding of the subject. So that's my plan, to gain leadership experience, uh, self management experience as well. My ability to manage multiple tasks at once, my verbal and written communication skills, my various interpersonal skills such as negotiation, conflict resolution, and persuasion, um, as well as inspiration. Most importantly, the ability to inspire others is the most underrated skill in today's society. If you properly inspire students with a love of learning, with a love of the value of knowledge, and furthermore, a love of the value of wisdom, as well as an understanding of how one can cultivate wisdom, you don't have to force your students to do their homework or to pay attention in class. They'll be enthralled, and that's what the most successful teachers do. Because I also read about 20 or 30 books, probably more like 40 or 50 books on the subject of education, and looking at teachers like Margaret Collins, Dr. Lorraine Monroe, Dr. Rafe Esquith, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Jaime Escalante, Dr. C. Perry. While their teaching methodologies all differed, what they all had in common was a profound ability to inspire their students with a love of learning. And what is inspiring students with a love of learning? I'm going off track regardless. Well, it's selling the value of the subject matter you're teaching. It's like, why are we studying history? Shut up, because you need to pass this test. That is not a proper response from a teacher. Proper response is, we study history so that we can use it to discover profound truths about human nature, learn why we made the greatest mistakes of our past, learn how we accomplished the greatest feats of human civilization, so that we will be better able to create a future in which we avoid the egregious mistakes of the past, like the mass genocides and hundreds of millions of people that died in concentration camps and from the ravages of communism during the 20th century, and also achieve more of the profound and wonderful things we achieved in the past, like lifting hundreds of thousands of people out of poverty every single day. Well, until lately, until COVID hit and completely destroyed the third world economies. But once the economy recovers, the third world will once again start developing, and millions of people, well, tens if not hundreds of millions of people every year will be lifted out of abject poverty and will be connected to the electrical grid. So there's so many beautiful things in this world. Okay, so I kind of, because I didn't have a script and no bullet points, and because I'm exhausted, I kind of mixed in both what I'm grateful for and how amazing the world is. So let's just make this one video a gratitude video, as well as a reflection on how remarkable the world is. Thank you for watching, and this is the end of my night routine. I'm going to go do some HRV training before bed and go to sleep. Early to rise, early to slumber, early to rise. Good night.